Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today. To start off with, can you introduce yourself and describe your background in OSD formulation?
Yeah, sure. My name is Uwe Hanenberg. I hold a PhD degree in pharmaceutics, which is the background is analytical pharmaceutics. And over the last 25 years, I worked in different pharmaceutical companies in different functions and developed in principle myself. We are being in quality, in operations, supply chain, science and technology in the direction of product development. And since 15 years, I'm focusing on science and product development in oral solid dosage forms.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Well, you sound really well qualified to speak about this. So, my next question for you is what are the key considerations when developing oral solid dosage forms?
Yeah, when you develop oral solid dosage forms, you have to listen. You first have to listen to the molecule and the properties of the molecule, and especially in oral solids, to the physical properties, because the processes are all physical. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
you look, for example, into the particle shape, into the particle sizes, into other parameters, and this gives you already some directions which technologies are feasible and which not. The second thing you have to look into is the drug delivery. How is the drug or the API absorbed, and how is it, let's say, digested and performed in the body? Yeah, that is very important, because if you are not able, due to physical properties, to bring the compound in the right concentration at the right time to the right place into the body, then you do not need to start development. Um, Further important is that we have a look into the indication and to the patient. What is the patient needs? Let's say we find out by first characterization that all oral technologies are suitable. It makes a difference whether the formulation is for children, for normal adults, or for elderly people, with regard to being able to swallow, with regard to taste that you would like to have in it. And that is where you need to listen as well, because if your product is not accepted by the patient, it can work as good. You have no compliance. And if the people are
Yeah.
not swallowing it, then you have no effect. Yeah. And the last point we have to look on, when we have all this sorted out and we have an idea of the formulation and the product, we need to find the most robust, economic, and environmentally friendly process. Let me give you an example. It is If it is possible to address something by dry blend or compaction, you don't add solvents for granulation, because the solvents make the API less stable. And removing solvents, you blow the solvents in the environment or parts of it, and it is highly energy consumption. So first listen to the molecule, then have a look into drug delivery, reflect what is your patient population, and then translate it into a, let's say, boring means robust commercial process, which addresses as well, let's say, the needs of today with regard to energy and carbon imprint. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for that great overview. So, what would you say are the key challenges, the top three, say, challenges that you face when formulating OSDs? Particularly like for poorly water soluble
Yeah,
drugs.
when you want to address poorly soluble drugs, you first need to find out what is the best enabling technology to overcome the poor solubility, which are in principle either the amorphous systems with spray drying and hot melt extrusion. It is the lipid systems, which are typically used in soft gels, and not increasing the solubility overall, but increasing the solubility kinetics, make it faster soluble, is the micronization. Yeah, so you first screen whether which of these four enabling technologies are working best. And and when you have how to assess it, you first need to assess the stability. How is the API stable in lipids or in the amorphous system? That is the first thing you need to check. Then you need to check the stability of this formulation in the body. And in the end, the poorly soluble drug needs to be absorbed as well. If you just make it soluble, it is in water, but outside of the body, in the gut. I mean, that is perceived outside of the body as well. Yeah, and if we then, in principle, have found a solution, an enabling technology that guarantees the stability and the absorption as well, then we need to find the in vivo conformation or the in vivo in vitro correlation in the end, because you need to further develop it, and you need to make sure that in the end the molecule is not just dissolved and actively absorbed. It still needs to fulfill its purpose. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So, looking to technologies, what would you say are the emerging technologies in OSD formulations?
Yeah, the first thing is a technology, or is a trend that is oral delivery of biologics. Yeah, because biologics are typically administered with an injection, which has a lot of disadvantage. Nobody wants to get injections. Secondly, the manufacturing process is expensive and complex, and maybe you need a cool chain to transport the syringe or what is in. So everybody is looking for an easy administration for biologics, let's say larger molecules, and I would say that is an increasing trend. So we see especially in the scientific network, but as well in the industry network, a lot of cases of engagement in that topic. Yeah. And the second thing, it's maybe not a technology, but what you see in every field of the pharmaceutical industry: formulation development, manufacturing, quality, even in supply chain, is a topic: data science. Yeah, we have with the new IT technologies and the developments, we are able to connect big data to senseful information, which gives us, hopefully in the end, knowledge. Yeah, and to in principle to apply the data science and standardize the data so that they can be used to make all these machine learning statistical evaluations to get an outcome, preferably the interrelation between material attributes, process and quality attributes. That is a big trend. That is a big trend, and I think it is a way into the future as well. Yeah.
Absolutely, that sounds really exciting. So, can I ask, what's the most interesting thing that you're working on now?
Yeah, I already mentioned the data science. Yeah, so we are working in Recipharm currently on develop a data science supported process for the implementation of dry granulation.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, in principle, building the models around using the data. That is very exciting because you don't need to do a lot of trials. Yeah, with a few pre-trials and this processing and analyzing of data, you get a lot of insights that help you to skip further trials. And that is very exciting. And the second interesting thing is linked to the same topic, data science. I'm a member of the APV, which is a German pharmaceutical association, and they are just building up a focus group for exactly this digital science that should connect all the different disciplines, and that is extremely exciting as well. Yeah, and the third very exciting thing that we are working on is the oral delivery of proteins, which I touched a minute or 2 minutes ago as well, simply because it is a way into the future. It has so many advantages, especially for the patients and the overall population. So that are the main three topics I'm working on: data science in oral solids, and the oral biologics. Yeah.
And can I ask a follow-on question
Sure.
regarding some of the challenges with working with data? What are the main challenges and what are the opportunities?
So the challenge with the data itself is that the data are coming from different types. They are maybe in different format. And secondly, if you maybe overcome the different format and you combine these data, you need to add some attributes to make them processable by artificial intelligence or machine learning. That is one of the challenges, let's say, to the topic itself. The other challenge, still, at least in the majority of the industry, I think that not all decision makers in the industry have fully understood the power of this digitalization, how fast it will go, how unavoidable it is, and how big the advantages are. So what I want to say is, you need to overcome the challenges with the data itself. But there is, I think, still in some companies and in the network, we need to. Not everybody has a fantasy to see the full power of this. Let me express it this way. I hope that resonates.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.